Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and I'm here with another exciting edition of Ask an Aquarius. So please like this video when it's done if you enjoy it. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell if you want the opportunity to hear when I do new videos. This morning when I woke up, I had 981 subscribers, which is phenomenal considering I started with 6 people, all of which I knew. And when we get to 1,000, I am going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away something, something of value. So if you hit that bell button, you'll be able to partake in whatever giveaway I decide to do when we hit 1,000. Thank you for subscribing, and please continue to share my videos. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about negative emotions. Negative emotions are considered to be emotions that are unpleasant. We all have emotions. We have positive ones, we have negative ones, we have indifferent ones. We have all kinds of emotions going on. Someone said to me the other day, they asked me why they did a particular behavior, and I said it sounds like fear. And they were not too happy to hear that it sounded like fear. And I said to myself in that instance, we have to realize that emotions are normal. You know, I believe in positive thinking. I believe in the law of attraction. And if you believe in the law of attraction, you have to use positive thinking. It doesn't work otherwise. So I do believe in that. But you are a human being. All kinds of emotions are going to come up. The law of attraction and positive thinking circles and positive thinking school of thought does not expect you to never have bad emotions. It doesn't expect you to have moments of doubt, to not have moments of doubt. It doesn't expect you to be happy all the time. It doesn't expect that because we know that things happen. Things happen every single day. People die, people get hurt, you lose things, you get sick. Things happen, okay? So negative emotions are just as normal as positive emotions. The thing is, really, when it comes to emotions, is not to dwell on them. You deal with it. If you have a negative emotion, let's say that you're fearful. And this is a big one for a lot of people. A lot of people are fearful. A lot of people are afraid to be themselves. A lot of people are afraid to come out of their comfort zones. A lot of people are afraid of abandonment. A lot of people are afraid of rejection, afraid of success. People have a lot of fears. I've had to push through my own fears. But fear in itself is not a bad thing. Fear is just a basic instinct. It's an instinct that we've developed to keep us from getting eaten by saber-toothed tigers. You know, it's just a basic instinct. It's something that you know when you're in danger. So when you're trying to do something that's challenging, something that's new, you are automatically aware that there is a danger to it. So let's say, for example, you do have a fear of abandonment and you meet a person, a wonderful person that's being so kind to you. She's beautiful. She has long hair and she's great, you know? And you start to feel like an aversion. Like, maybe I shouldn't keep talking to her. And your friends are like, oh my God, what do you mean? You're crazy. She's wonderful. And you're like, well, I don't know. That's your fear of abandonment coming up. Because what you're feeling is, what if I fall for this person? What if they leave me? What if they find out that I'm not as great as they think I am? Okay? What if they find somebody better? What if they are Jezebel and want to run around with the whole town, you know? And my heart is into this person. So for a lot of us, you know, especially if you have some type of fear along those lines, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of something like that, it's going to be difficult for you to push through those situations. But what you have to do is identify it. Okay, I'm scared. This is a fear. Okay. That's fine. Fear is just like being hungry. You don't come down on yourself for being hungry. Oh man, you hungry again? You know? No, you tell yourself, okay, it's time for my second meal of the day. And you go get yourself something to eat. So if you feel fear, Don't be afraid about it, afraid of the fear or upset about it or blah about it. Just tell yourself, this is something that needs to be addressed. If you have a fear around something, a fear around anything, then that means that there's something there. There's an emotional charge there that has gone unhealed. If you have a fear of abandonment, typically it's because you've been abandoned or you felt abandoned at some point in your life. So you have to go back to the original wound and heal that. Okay, so I have a fear of abandonment because my mom, left when I was 2. You got to go deal with the fact that your mom left when you were 2 and how you felt about that and how you got through life. If you have a fear of success, you have to deal with what are your thoughts around success? What are your thoughts around successful people? I used to always think that rich people were evil. They were evil. They were thieves. They were negative. They were con men. They were materialistic. They were shallow. And some of them are. But while I was stuck in that thought process, it was making it hard for me to draw success to myself because I didn't want to be one of them. I didn't want to be one of them evil, shiesty people. But then I had to realize over time that you don't have to be that. If you're rich, you can be the most beautiful, benevolent, kind, compassionate person in the world. It's up to the person. And that's what I had to learn. And my fear of success was based around that. That thought that money was hard to come by. That thought that rich people was crooks. It was all based on that. And I had to go back and deal with that to start bringing in the manifestations that I wanted in my life. So don't feel bad about the fear. Just figure out what is going on. Now, there are other negative emotions too. There's anger, and anger is always perceived as a negative emotion. And when it comes to anger, I deal a lot with my temper. Not as much now as I used to. When I was younger, my temper was horrendous. Now, it's not horrendous. It just gets triggered by people who irk me. I don't like being irked. I don't like being, like whatever my pet peeves are. Like one of the things I don't like is people bugging me. I hate people bugging me. And with social media, we get a lot of that. People constantly inboxing you or texting you or coming at you just saying dumb stuff. Like it's one thing if somebody come at you and ask you a question or something along those lines. But you get people that send you stupid memes that make no sense. Or people who say, what you doing? WYD. I'll be like, what? Like, I hate getting bugged. It's like, I got things to do. Don't you got things to do? It's like if somebody comes at me about something interesting or important or thought-provoking, I'm all for it. But when they come at me with some foolishness, I'm like, why are you bugging me? So anger and frustration and those kind of things, again, they're normal. They're part of who you are. Some of us have bad tempers and some of us don't, And when you have anger, the positive thinking camp does not say you can't get angry or you won't get angry. You won't be sad. You won't be fearful. That's a myth. That is a myth. I hear people talk all the time. This woman, she said on Facebook, she said, I can't get into positive thinking because I need to feel all of my emotions. Bitch, you do feel all of your emotions. They don't go anywhere just because you decide that you want to be more positive. They're still there. And you're still going to feel them. And you're still going to deal with every last one of them. The difference is that you're not going to dwell and that negative energy. And that's what she wants to do. She likes that. Every time I come across her Facebook page, she's dwelling in anger, dwelling in sadness, dwelling in what somebody did to me, constant victimization. Every time I came across her Facebook page, because I unfriended her eventually, but that's what it was always about. But I noticed that her critique on positive thinking was she wanted to be able to feel all of her emotions. Just because you start being a positive thinker doesn't mean your emotions go away. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden, you feel great all of the time, because life still happens. You just deal with it. You deal with it from a more positive and productive place. So when I get angry, instead of gripping somebody up and slamming them into the wall, You know, I do a meditation. I do a journal exercise. A lot of times it's really about getting the energy out. So anger is an energy. So I push that out. I do a journal exercise. I talk to my friends. I get to the bottom of why I'm angry. I do something with the anger, something productive with the anger. It's energy. So I move that energy and I deal with, why did this make me angry? Why am I mad about this? Like I deal with it in those kind of ways, and it makes me a better person. And over time, it's made me less and less angry. There's kind of things that would have made me angry at 20 years old don't make me angry at 41 years old. You know? So over time, it actually helps you to deal with your anger in a productive way. The same thing with fear. You just deal with it. You feel it and deal with it. Okay, I'm scared right now. What should I do? You talk to somebody, you talk about your fears. You look things up, you Google things, you figure out, why are you afraid? What is holding you back? You know? You deal with the negative emotions. Positive emotions are easy. It's easy to feel happy, it's easy to feel good, it's easy to feel at peace. Those are easy. Those are wonderful and easy. But negative emotions are not easy. And that's why we struggle with them. So if you're coming up on negative emotions, if you're feeling fear, doubt, worry, things along those lines, I would just tell you, don't dwell in them. Deal with it. When somebody dies or when something bad happens, let's say I'm hurt and I'm crying. I might cry my butt off for 2 days, 1 day, whatever the case is, 3 days, maybe if it was bad. And then I start telling myself, okay, it's time to come back. It's time to get up. It's time to heal this. It's time to work on it. What do we need to do? Is it somebody that died? Do we need closure? You know, what is it? I'm automatically like, what is it? Because the number one thing that will hold you back in your life is your mental health state. If you allow yourself to dwell in these negative emotions that I'm talking about, what's going to end up happening is they're going to hold you back. So use them for what they're for. They're to help you learn lessons. Learn your lessons and move on. Okay? So if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling fearful, if you're feeling any of these indifferent is a big one. Most people who are indifferent are depressed. Very depressed. When I was the most indifferent, I was just like, I don't care what happens. I don't care what y'all do. Yeah. What's next? You know, I was just like, and it was depression. You know, so all of these negative emotions lead to something else. According to the sages, the gurus, you know, according to, you know, the ancient ones, I'll call them, you're supposed to go between pleasure and peace. Those are the emotions you want to keep your vibration at. Pleasure and peace. So when things aren't pleasant, try to, you know, express them, get that energy out, and get yourself back to a place of being at peace with them, at least. And then eventually you'll end up back at pleasure. You know, try to stay in those vibrations. Try to stay in pleasure or peace. If something is going on that you don't like, that's harmful to you, that's hurtful to you, address it. Get that energy out. Address it. Heal it. Work on it. You know, any of the things I talked about today. You know, it's not just sadness. It's not just depression, you know, that will have you all, you know, emotionally wound up. You know, anger, fear, all those things too. So I want you guys to really think about that. You know, I think it holds a lot of people back. They'll tell me, I'm scared. So what? Scared is normal. Be scared and do it anyway. Be terrified and push through the fear. Because once you get past the fear, you're not going to be afraid no more. And you'll move on to the next fear. Just keep pushing past your fears. Fears are normal. All these emotions are normal. But don't dwell in the ones that can destroy your mental health state. Okay? Let me know what you think in the comments. Deuces.